Hi everyone, I'm Nancy, So Cozy Stitching. I'm also So Cozy Stitching on Instagram, so if you want to jump over there and follow me. I do make sure that you are a cross stitcher or a quilter before I do accept you as I accept you on Instagram. So just make sure that you have people that are, yeah, you have pictures in your, pictures that I can see that you are a cross stitcher and a quilter, or I also check if you don't have any of those things, but you do have a lot of people that you're following that I recognize as stitchers or quilters, then I will accept you. I've had to deny a couple of people because I wasn't sure what they are. And then I get these weird random men. Ugh, crazy, creepy people. So I do screen who I accept on Instagram. But anyway, I just want to say welcome back to my channel for all of my old subscribers. And I've had a huge surge in new subscribers. So welcome to my channel, everybody that's new. I do know where they're coming from. So anyway, I hope you enjoy what I show you and what I make and what I stitch and what I quilt and all of the things. I do want to say thank you so much to Christy from Crosshatch Quilts. She gave me a huge shout out on her channel, and that is where I've gotten the surge in subscribers. And so thank you, Christy. I appreciate it. All right, so I am going to show you finishes, some previous finishes, um, whips, gifts, plans, quilts, and at the end I'll give you a little bit of life update. My intentions was to come back the end of November and do a video, and I actually had recorded one, but I don't know, for some reason I just didn't publish it. I don't know, I just didn't publish it. And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this again, I'm gonna make a new video. And then we've had some crazy things going on at our house this last couple of weeks. So I'm kind of late coming back with my December plans and what I've stitched in November and everything. So let's get into this. Let's start with things that I finished since my last video. I finished this. None of these are not fully finished. I don't enjoy fully finishing my cross stitch. And so when I do fully finish it, I like kind of it's kind of like a mindset for me. I think, okay, this is what I'm going to do on this day. I'm going to finish all of these things, and that's what I do. So anyway, these are not fully finished. Plus, I finished this just barely before Thanksgiving, and so I figured I have time to finish it, to fully finish it before next fall. This is, I'm not sure the name of the pattern. I think it's called, it's not Harvest Blessings. I think it's like Gathering Harvest or Gathering Blessings or something like that, but it's with Thy Needle and Thread. This was the bonus pattern that came in the Women of the Mayflower when you ordered the kit. It is stitched on 14 count Vintage Country Mocha, and it is with whatever DMC flosses I pulled from my stash. So I love these little turkeys. Aren't they cute? Anyway, I was thinking maybe I'd make this into a pillow, but I think it's kind of big for a pillow, so I'll probably frame it. I think it might fit in a 5x7 frame, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And then the next thing I finished. So I was, in my last video, I told you I was working on the Santa, I think they're called Santas and Snowmen by Prairie Schooler. And for some reason, I had it in my head that I needed to finish all 8 of those patterns in that chart. And I got thinking, I thought, I don't need to finish all 8 of them. I was not enjoying them. I think I don't know why I wasn't enjoying them. I just wasn't into them. So I thought I don't need to finish all 8 of them. So I finished 5. And eventually I'll go back in and I will finish the other 3. But I just didn't want to do it this year. And as you can see, they are not fully finished. It's like I just said, it's not something I enjoy. So these probably won't be fully finished for this year. But when I have a finishing day, I'll pull them out and I will fully finish them. And I'm going to make them into ornaments. Right. The other thing that I actually started and finished this past week is the same thing that everybody else is doing. And that's the Merry and Minty free sew along that Brenda Gervais offered. And if you go onto Facebook and just in the search engine type with a needle and thread, it brings up her Facebook page. I think it's her business page. And then if you just scroll down, you can get the chart. If you scroll down to where it says part 4, if you print that one, you'll get the whole chart there. You don't have to go and print each individual one, because every time she added a new part to it, she just added to the chart. So at the end, you still have the full chart. And then yesterday, she released a bonus pattern, and they're little candies that you can make to go with the chart, or to go with the pattern. Let's see. So anyway, here's my start and my finish. So I stitched mine on 18 count Aida that I tea and coffee dyed myself, and I used all of the called for DMCs. She also gave, even though she had it listed for the over-dyed floss on a few of the pieces, she did list the DMC conversion to it. And that's what I used, was the DMC conversion. Part 4 was this little strand of what's supposed to be Christmas, well, probably cranberries and popcorn. And they're supposed to be French knots. I did mine in beads, because I don't mind doing French knots if it's just 1 or 2, but not that many. And you know, I can do a French knot, but I cannot figure out the colonial knot. Isn't that crazy? And it's supposed to be easier, but I've watched YouTube videos and it just doesn't click in my brain. And so I can do French knots, and they actually do look halfway decent when I do them, but I just use beads. And then I stitched 5 of the candies. So, and I think she gave a suggestion on how to finish it. I think I might make mine into just a pillow. And I have some, I think I have some the perfect fabric to use as a backing on the pillow. And then I think I'm just going to set the pillow maybe in a candy dish. And then you're supposed to make these little round things into, they're supposed to represent those little nougat Christmas candies you get that taste like peppermint, that are white, and then they have the Christmas tree in the middle. That's what they're supposed to represent. Mine obviously are not white because I just used the leftover, with the extra fabric on here. But I think I'm going to do all 5 of them like her pattern says, and make them into the little candies, and then I'll put the pillow in the candy dish with these little pieces. So, and I don't know if this will get finished this year. It may or may not. We'll see. All right. The next things I want to show you is some previous finishes that I have finished In 2020, I have started and finished these, and these were done when between my big break, um, during, you know, the shutdown and quarantine and all of the stay at home and everything. Um, these are, I did, so I have done these in 2020. I have one of them not fully finished and one that is fully finished. So the first thing I want to show you is this one. This is called Prim Village by Lori Holt. Um, I used, I did not use her, I used the colors that she had, but I toned mine down. Mine are not as bright. And I know the orange looks really bright, but this orange is not as bright as what was the called for. And I used a variety of Victorian motto threads and DMC. So I pulled the DMC and then I matched it to the Victorian motto. How did I do it? It's been a while. I pulled, no, I pulled the Victorian motto threads first. And I went with more the muted rather than the bright. And then what I didn't have in Victorian motto threads, that then I pulled the DMC. So anyway, that's how I did it. And I'm just gonna say the mailman just showed up and I'm expecting the package. So if my dog starts barking, I apologize. Anyway, so I had the threads. After I finished this one, I had the threads pulled. And so what I did is I stitched this using the same threads. This is Quilter's Cottage by Lori Holt. Now, I love everything Lori Holt. I love all her patterns. I love her charts. I love her fabric. In fact, I have all of her fabric. When she has new fabric line come out, I usually buy a quilt kit or 2 quilt kits or whatever, and then I actually buy like a fat quarter also. So I have a lot of her fabric. I love everything she does. When she first came out with this chart, I was like, oh, it's okay, it's cute, but nah, not really my colors. Love the style, just not my colors. Then I saw other people doing this and they were changing the color of the house. I'm like, oh yeah, I can change the color of the house too. So what I did is I took the colors from that I had pulled from my Prim Village, and that's what I used in this. So, and I love it. I absolutely love it. This is really showing up pink. It's red. This is red. And I just bought this frame from Hobby Lobby. I laced it on foam core board and stuck it in this frame. I didn't put the glass in with it because with the foam core in there, it wouldn't fit. So, love it. And I was going to hang this, well, so after I stitched it, I thought, oh, you know what I should have done is I should have, because in the pattern, what did I do with the pattern? In the pattern, it has the letters, and I didn't really want the letters in there. But what I should have done is put like Home Sweet Home or something like that. But I didn't. And I was originally going to put this in my living room, but it may go here in my sewing room. I haven't decided yet. So that is my previous finishes for cross stitch. Now, there's something else that I made this past summer, you know, while everybody was supposed to be staying home and everything. I got this pattern off of Etsy, and it's called Stitch and Go Case, and it's by What Sassy Makes, What Sassy Makes, right there. I will, I'll put this information in below in the drop down box. If I can find a link to her Etsy page, I will do that. But so I made one of these. This is not for a beginner. It was not that easy to make. I did have some struggles with it. So if you do want to make one of these, I'm just going to say it's not, well, right here's the skill level, advanced, beginner, intermediate. I would definitely say you need to be definitely an advanced beginner to be able to make this. Here it is. I love it. I used leftover Lori Holt fabric, and this is not Lori Holt fabric. This is just some other I had in my stash. I think this is by Pat Sloan. This fabric is, but everything else is Lori Holt. This is the back, and I quilted it. This was not an easy thing to make. Anyway, so I just put some lace trim for the tie, and this is the inside. So it has pockets here. You can put thread bobbins in. I'm going to fold this so I can show you. So these have little pockets to put thread bobbins in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 20 pockets to put them in. If you're making this, you can actually make them. I made sure bobbins, because I bobbinate on my DMC. I want to make sure, and that's mostly what I use. So I want to make sure they fit in here. But you could just like sew it just down the middle and make these pockets bigger. I chose to make them this size. And then it has this pocket right here. So you can put your chart in here. And then it has a pocket here that you can put your project in. And then on this side, it has this pocket with a zipper in it. So you could put your floss or, you know, or whatever in there. Trying to think. I think I wasted like 3 zippers trying to get this zipper to work. I don't know. I was a little bit frustrated by the time I was done. Then there's a pocket here. And then up here, there's pockets. So I have scissors in here. And then there's a pocket here. And then I made this little needle book. This Lori Holt has a tutorial for this needle book on her blog. If you go to her blog, and I just did mine very simple. I just put a piece of wool felt in the middle. I do have a pocket here, which I have some cross stitch needles in, and then there is a pocket here also. And then I put this little, I just have a little zipper pull here, but you can actually put a scissor fob on here and put your scissors right there if you wanted. But yeah, this is definitely on Lori Holt's blog. It's Be in My Bonnet to make this little needle book. So if you want to make that, and then like I said, this is from an Etsy seller, and I will, like I said, I will try to, if I can't do a link to the Etsy seller, I will at least put her name down there. So if you'd like to go and search it up. So, and this is what it looks like. This was fun. It was fun to make. When I made it, I was showing it to my daughter-in-law. She says, "Oh, you should make those and put them on Etsy." No, I shouldn't. they were not the easiest things to make. But anyway, all right, so I'm going to pause the video and then we will go into my whips. Okay, I'm back. I have actually two finishes I forgot to show you. So the first one, I think this is what I was working on when I last saw you. This is Slater Stocking by Shepherd's Bush. So I finished this one. Isn't that cute? And then I finished this one. I started another one and I finished it. This is Lula's stocking. So I have 3 more to finish. I have one I'm working on that I'll show you in my whips. And then I have one more chart to do. And then they just released a new one. So the one I'm working on, I plan on finishing in December. And then I'm going to do one in January and one in February, and I will be done. And then I can start fully finishing them. I have thoroughly enjoyed stitching those. I thought it was a huge commitment I took on, and I'm not really good like with series. So if I start a series, I usually get about halfway through and then I get really tired of it and either just stop doing it so I only have half of a year done, or I have to push myself to finish it. And so I was thinking, okay, am I going to be able to, I mean, this is a huge commitment to make all of these stockings. And but I persevered and I did it. And actually I've enjoyed every single stocking that I've made. I didn't get tired or bored of any of them. So I have been stitching for 2 years on stockings. So I'll be glad when they're done, because then I feel like I can move on to other things that I want to stitch. But yeah, I've really enjoyed them. So let me just jump right into the next stocking I'm working on. The one I'm doing now is called Parker's Stocking. And I started this one this past weekend. I think I started it Saturday. Let's see. I put something behind it. And I'm not going to, most of this stuff I'm not taking out the Q stamps because I don't need to, because this is all I've done. So there you go. So I started it Saturday night and I outlined his coat, and then last night I filled all of this in. So I just need to go back in and fill in his coat. And these are little reindeer. They're so cute. So that's where I'm at on this one. I plan on having this one finished by the end of December. That's my goal. And I'm getting so close to being done with the stockings. It's like that's all I want to stitch on right now is the stockings. All right, the next thing I have, this is a new start. Sorry, I'm reaching to get these. This is a new start since my last video, and so I was working on Women of the Mayflower, and I'm not going to show you my progress on it, but I got tired of it. About the middle of the month of November, I got tired of it, so I decided that I just wanted to work on Christmas, and I don't know if it's because everybody, well, and winter, kind of Christmas and winter, because I think this one is more of a winter piece than a Christmas piece. But I wanted to work on, I don't know if it's something wintry, and I don't know, maybe to get me into the festive mood or whatever, I don't know. But so I pulled this one out and I started it. Heartstring Samplery Hibernation Day. And I am stitching this on 14 count Ren by Picture This Plus. And that's where I'm at. And it shows up, the white shows up really good. I know the snowflakes, they're kind of hard to see, but in real life, they do show up really well. This house was a lot of stitching. And you don't, this isn't even filled in, and it's not meant to be filled in. Oh, I'm looking at it. My windows are, I thought I had messed up on my windows, but that's how they're charted. So, and I'm using all of the called for colors of overdyed floss, with the exception of, let me pull out my bag here. So I'm using all of the overdyed floss, the called for floss, with the exception of the words. So all of the leaves and the dark, I am using Piney Woods. Now, I know a lot of people have had problems with this because they say it's more brown than green. Mine is very green. So but mine's also from an older dye lot. I've had mine for a couple of years. So, but mine is very green. So that's what I'm using for all of the leaves. I use it for the leaves here, and then there's trees that are down here. I'll use it. Then for the lettering, I decided to go a little bit of a lighter green. So for the lettering, I am using Grasshopper by Weeks Dye Works. So, and so there. So see, one's quite a bit darker, but my Piney Woods is very green. The only thing I'm using DMC on is the white, and I'm using 3865 on it. So to put everything back, or I get things mixed up and then I don't remember what goes where. Sorry. So yeah, that was a start. And I want to get back to this, especially now that it snowed. I really want to get back to this. So this week, I probably will work on it this week. Well, we have snow on the ground. Hopefully it stays. We're supposed to actually get another storm in, I think the end of the week. So hopefully we have snow for Christmas. All right. The other thing that I have worked on was also a new start. And that is Noel Sampler with Thy Needle and Thread. This was my birthday start. I started this on my birthday on December 6th. Again, I'm not going to take this out of the Q snaps all the way because, let's see. No, that's not going to work. And that's where I'm at. This is being stitched on 14 count Aida that I dyed, and I don't remember. There's not a whole lot of modeling in it. There is some, but it's not heavily modeled. But I used, I think I used Pearl Gray, and then I used maybe Camel. I used 2 different colors, and then I quickly tea and coffee dyed it. So I love it. Love it, love it. enjoying this. So yeah, I cannot wait to get up to that house though. I love stitching houses. So Noel sampler. My birthday start. And I believe I am just, well, it calls for DMC floss, and that's what I'm using. So I'm using the call for floss on that one. All right. What else have I been working on? I think everything I'm showing you are new starts since my last video. I'm pretty sure they are. The next thing that I have been working on is the same thing that everybody is working on. This was supposed to be my Thanksgiving Day start. I didn't start it on Thanksgiving. I started it the day after because I just didn't have time on Thanksgiving. And it's Winter Rose Sampler. Like I said, everybody's stitching on it. So when I was talking about plans in my last video, I was trying to decide on which fabric because I showed two different fabrics. And I kind of had in my mind what I was leaning towards. And almost everybody that commented said the same thing as what I was thinking about. So I went ahead and went with the fabric I had hand dyed myself. So there's my start. Only have the roof done. That's all I've worked on it. And I think I stitched this that weekend after Thanksgiving. I started it the day after Thanksgiving and then just worked on it that weekend. So that's all I've got done. And I want to get back to this one too. So I love it. So, and I don't remember the color I used. My goal was when I was dyeing this, I wanted to get a piece of fabric. So if you take the book, don't go by the call for fabric or anything. You take the book, you look at the picture, and the picture kind of makes it look like it's kind of a greenish gray color, brownish, grayish, greenish, all those kind of colors. That's the color I wanted for my fabric. So I just got a piece of white 18 count. Yeah, this is 18 count Ada. And I just played with dyes until I had it the color I wanted it. And I love it. It looks brown there, but it's a greenish brown. And it's on 18 count. I am using 2 threads. I started out just using 1 thread. And I decided it wasn't giving it the coverage that I wanted. So I am using 2 strands of thread. And I am using, that is upside down. Have I been showing it upside down the whole time? I hope not. There. There we go. So yeah, the 1 strand of thread did not give me the coverage I wanted, so I went ahead with 2. And I love it. And I want to get back to this one too. Do I do? Just not enough hours in the day, it seems like. All right, and then the next thing I want to show you, I cannot show you a picture of this because all I have is the chart. Well, I can show you this. This is the Prim Stitch series by Lori Holt. I was not going to stitch this. I'm doing the quilt, or I bought the quilt kit because I want to do the quilt. And the more I saw everybody stitching this, I decided that I really actually did like it and I wanted to stitch it. So I joined the club at Fat Quarter Shop, so I get 1 chart a month. And I didn't do the floss pack or anything with Fat Quarter Shop. I just did the charts. So I'm stitching the border because this goes into my January plans. But to make my January plans work, I need to have the border as much stitched as I can. Hopefully I have it all stitched. So what I do is I work on this an hour to an hour and a half every morning. And I'm just working on the border. And I'm not going to take this out all the way out of the Q-snap. So I'm sorry that it's a little bit wrinkled. Turn it this way. That's where I'm at. So this will be square 1, 2, 3. So I'm hoping by the end of December, I have all of the border done. But as long as I have 1, 2, and 3, I will be happy. And like I said, this goes into my January plans. And this is being stitched on 18 count vintage country mocha. And I am using 2 strands of floss because, again, the one just wasn't giving me the coverage I wanted. Let me show you. So this is the, let's see, let me put this in order. Okay, so this is the Prim Stitch series. So this will be block 1. And we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 6 may be in the mail today because I got a shipping notice last week for it. Anyway, so my plans for January is I'm going to start the quilt. And I'm going to do 1 quilt block and 1 stitch block every month for the year of 2021. So that's my plans. So that's why I want to get the border done on this, because if I get the border done, then come January, the border's done. I just have to stitch the block in there, and then come February, the border will already be done, so I just have to stitch the block. So that's why I want to get the border done, or the majority of it done, in this month. So this is my morning stitch. All right, the one other thing I have started, I've started a lot of things, is my morning, or is my on the go stitch. It's one that, it's a small stitch that I can just grab if I'm have a doctor's appointment, or if I know I'm going to be somewhere and have to wait, if I'm doing errands with my husband and I decide I just want to sit in the truck. So this is my on the go stitch. This is my original because it is a PDF download. So this is not just a copy. I wrote copy on here because I bought this twice. I downloaded it twice. I went to put this in my file cabinet under Pineberry Lane, and I had one in there. So what I did is I wrote copy on one so that I could use it as my working copy. So once I'm done with this will go in the garbage. But yeah, I just went onto her website and downloaded the pattern. But apparently I liked it so much I bought it twice. And I'm not going to take this out of the hoop because it all fits in there. So that's where I'm at. I finished. So all I have to do on the house is fill in, and then I have the roof, the grass, and then there's this little checkerboard down here. Now the home is 1/1. I'm using a piece of 14 count Aida. I don't know what color it is. It's kind of so remember the 14 count Aida that was called oatmeal? So it kind of had little flecks of, I don't know, fibers in it. This reminds me of that, only it's I don't know, to me it'd be like a raw. It wouldn't have been bleached or anything. So but I can't, I don't know if I even have it written down. No, I don't. I don't even have a tag that says what it is. But anyway, the home is over 1 on the chart. So obviously I won't be doing home over 1. But I haven't decided yet if I'm even going to put home in there or if I'm going to rechart it so that it will go on my Ada. So, and this is fun. This is easy. What I did is I started this because I was sitting in here at my embroidery machine doing some embroidering. And actually I'll show you that in my quilt segment what I was doing. And I thought, oh, I'm sitting here waiting for this to embroidery. You know, I need to be in the room with it, but I don't like just need to be staring at it. So that's actually when I started this. So, right, that's my whips. And I think that's it for whips. I have a list, so I didn't forget to talk about anything. Okay, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to show you some gifts that I got. Okay, so for my birthday, my good friend Diane sent me a nice little package. I'm not going to show you everything that was in it, just a couple of things. She sent me a sweet birthday card, and she put a nice little note in it. And then she sent me some candy, and there was a mug in there. I can't remember what else. Anyway, it's all been put up, but I wanted to show you this that she sent me. Isn't that cute? It's a little pin cushion, and it's in a little shaker box, and they signed the bottom. She bought this off of an Etsy shop. I think she bought it off an Etsy shop. The tag on it says, visit us on Facebook, Early American Workshop. But isn't that cute? It's a little pin cushion, and it comes with these little, just another Button Company pins that says Noel. Even though it says Noel, it is going to stay out all year long. And I have it like right here. This is where I have it sitting. And it will stay out all year long. So thank you. And then not only that, so I got that package the day before my birthday. And then this past week, I got another package from her. So for the past 3 years, so let me kind of back up. We have been friends for a little over 3 years. How we met, we have not actually met in person. She watched my videos and she reached out to me, and we were sending messages back and forth on Messenger, and then we shared our phone numbers, and so we've texted back and forth. And anyway, so we started, this is the 3rd year we do an ornament exchange. So I stitch her an ornament and she stitches me an ornament. And I'll have to post on Instagram my ornament that I sent her, because I have pictures of it, but I don't do any editing and I don't know how to insert and all the text stuff to do that. So if you want to see what I stitched for her, go on Instagram. It's a little snowman ornament. But anyway, so this past week last week I got my Christmas package in the mail, and she sent me a nice little card with another nice little note in it. Love it. And it has tape on it because I have it taped up on my hutch. And then she sent me some candy, and like I said, I'm not going to show everything that was in it, but she sent me some candy. She sent me a Christmas apron, which I have hanging up in my kitchen. Um, she sent me this chart, which I love it, and I have been like, this has been in and out of my cart for quite a while. It's been on my 1, 2, 3 wish list for a few years, and I just had never bought it. So she sent me the chart. She sent me this cute little snowman that Under the Woolen Willow makes these, and she's on Etsy, and I can um, either put the in the description box. I'll either put a link um, or at least say who it is if I can't figure out the link. And then she sent me this little vintage box. It's actually a box, and this, it had candy in it, which I've taken out so I can eat it. Isn't that cute? And it sits right here for the Christmas season. And then this was my ornament that she stitched for me. Isn't that just precious? I love it. She said this is it's by Homespun Elegance. Even though it has a Prairie Schooler feel to it, it's by Homespun Elegance. And this is the back. Love it. Love it, love it. So thank you, Diane. Thank you for everything. Then I got another package in the mail from my friend Frankie, and also I became friends with her because she would comment on my videos, and then I was friends with her on Instagram also, and I kind of just, because from her posts and different things, I figured she was not too far from me. And she's not. She lives about 2 hours away from me. And we connected just before COVID, maybe about February, I'm going to guess. So we plan on, once everything is back to normal, if it ever gets back to normal, and everything opens up, her Shepherd's Bush is not too far from her, and it's not too far from me. Actually, she's probably about 2.5 hours from me, and Shepherd's Bush is about 2 hours from me. So one of these days we are going to meet, because we're going to meet at Shepherd's Bush, and we're going to shop, and we're going to go to lunch. Anyway, she sent me this chart, and she sent me this cute little needle minder that come with it. And there was also a thing of floss in here too, but I put it in a project. And then, so I got that one day in the mail, and then a few days later, I got a Christmas card from her with a nice little note in it. So thank you, Frankie. I appreciate it. I've got a couple of other Christmas cards. I got this one from Melanie Smith, Yarns and Thread. She's on Facebook, or on, she's on Flosstube, and Facebook and Instagram, all of them, but I got that from her. And then I got this card, this Christmas card, from Janet Jabber. She has a YouTube video. So thank you to everybody who has sent me gifts for my birthday and for Christmas. It's so much fun to get fun things like this in the mail. Okay, so I think that is it. There's my dog, because now UPS is here. It's Christmas time, what can I say? Except for I don't think any of these are Christmas presents, because I'm done with my Christmas shopping. Okay, so for my plans, I'm just going to continue with the whips that I showed you for the month of December. And I am going to work on my Christmas stocking. And I think that's it. Oh, and I'm going to have a Christmas start. Let me grab that. I forgot to grab it. So for my Christmas, sorry about that. That was a Christmas present, but it wasn't one that I had ordered. Well, I had ordered it, but it was actually my son had me order it for his girlfriend. So and that's funny because my package that's supposed to be delivered today wasn't out there. So I'll have to do some checking on that one. Anyway, so my Christmas Day start, I plan on starting Feliz Navidad by Blackbird's Designs. I'm not too sold on this fabric. I don't even know what it is. It's 14 count. It could be French Cafe Mocha, maybe. I'm not too sold. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do it on this one or not. But this will be my Christmas Day start. Or the day after Christmas, because who knows? Who knows what's going to happen on Christmas Day? So I think that's it as far as my stitching goes. I'm going to pause this again, and I'm going to grab my quilting. So give me just a minute. Okay, I'm back. So I have been doing a lot of sewing since my last video. One thing that I have started is I am working on the Prim and Proper quilt by Lori Holt. And this is a sew along. So the first week we did the flowers. The second week we did the small leaf. The third week we did the big leaf. Last week is the pot. And then this week, which the new one, this week is tomorrow, starts tomorrow. We're going to do all of the X's. Okay, so I have not done my pot. I have it cut out. I have not sewed it. And I'm in the process of cutting all the pieces out for the little X's that go around it. So that's what I plan on. I'll get the pot done probably today or tomorrow, and then I'm just going to start on all the X's. So I kind of am not caught up. I got behind during Thanksgiving because I didn't get my little leaves done Thanksgiving week. But the following week I got both of them done, and then of course then the pot, but it's cut out and I'll have it done so that by next week when the I think next week is doing these blocks, the corner blocks, I'll be completely caught up by next week. So the first week we did, and pardon me if there's any strings on here, we did the 3 flowers. And I have been really bad at posting. I think I posted the flowers to Instagram, and that was it. So I need to, I just haven't been good at posting. Then I did the little leaves, and I had to cut it twice because I messed up because I had both of these bottom pieces going the same way. So I had to recut and do it the right way. And then this is the big one. So when you piece it all together, this will go on top of there somehow. All right. Sorry. forgot to grab something. The other sew along I am doing is I'm doing this Bonnie and Camille. It's called Shine On. It's from their book Quilt Bee, but I'm doing this quilt right here, which is called Shine On. And I belong to the Fat Quarter Shops Club. Let's see, I don't know if I can, that's going to be a better picture or not. And I think this is a 12-month program. So the first one was for 3 blocks. The B block and I don't know. Anyways, for 3 blocks. So I decided, at first when I got this one, I thought I'm just going to put it away. I have too many projects going on. And I thought, you know what? It's once a month. They're sending me the fabric and the fabric. I have the book. So they're sending me the fabric once a month. I might as well just do it. So this was, is this the, holy smokes. Sorry for the interruptions. You know, I'm just going to say this. I thought I had some errands I had to run today. So I thought, okay, I have to get dressed in real clothes, not just leggings and a sweatshirt. I have to do my hair, I have to put makeup on. I need to make a video today. Perfect day to make a video. No one ever comes to my house. No one ever knocks on my door. My phone never rings. And once you know, I start a video today. My phone rings. People are knocking at my door. My dog's barking. It is what it is. So you get me all made up, or you don't get me all made up. I prefer to be made up when I do a video. There you go. Okay, so let's see where I was. I think I was talking about this. And the block, the first block, so I think it has the schedule in here. So it has the schedule in here, and then Fat Quarter Shop just sends me the fabric every month. Charges my charge card and then sends me the fabric. And it tells you what blocks to make with that fabric pack. So the first one was called, if I can do this without showing stuff, the Beehive block. There's mine. And then the second block was the Bee's Knees, which is this block right here. This block was no joke. I'm just saying. There we go. This was no joke. These are some tiny little pieces in here. So I'll even show my back on that one. Not too bad. I kind of got caught with the fabric right there, but I don't care about showing my backs on these. And then the third one for the first month was called the Bliss block. And this is mine. So I'll tell you what, I did this block first, pretty easy. Did the bee one, and I'm like, oh. So this one was a breeze to make. So anyway, so that is what I have going for quilts. Hang on. I had to pull my chair back over here. I had this last knock on the door. I'm putting plantation shutters in 3 windows in my house, and they came last week and measured them, but he wanted to come back and remeasure them again. So anyway, I had to move stuff out of the way, and I forgot to move it back before I started again. Okay, so Um, I have a lot of quilt tops that are done. The tops are done. They just need to be quilted. So I have been taking them in. Usually, what I have 4 at the quilters right now being quilted. Um, I'm thinking probably this week they'll probably call me saying when it's done. And what I've been doing is when it's finished, when I go pick up the finished one, I take another quilt top and the backing in so they can do another one. So I always have something, going. Anyway, well, these are quilts that have actually been to the quilters in the past few months, in the past 4 or 5 months, and have come back, and then they have sit, because that's another thing is I get the quilt tops done, and then eventually I take them in and get them quilted, and then they sit when I get them back because I have to put the binding on them. And although it's not hard, I don't enjoy it because I'm not that good at it. I'm getting better. I don't hand bind my quilts. I don't have the patience for it. Just don't. So I machine bind them. So it's really not that hard to put them on there, except for trying to get my corners right. And anyway, it's a process, and it's a learning process. But I'm getting better. So this one is one that I just got the binding on. So this was probably quilted back, I'm going to say August. And it's just sat waiting for the binding to be done. Log cabins and stars is all that these, pretty much all this quilt, the blocks are. This, when I started this quilt, my intentions was to make a queen size quilt to go on my bed. It didn't happen. I got tired of making it. So there you go. And then the backing is just flannel. Just a taupe kind of flannel. And the quilting, I don't know if you can see the quilting on that or not, but it's stars and loop-de-loops. So, and I don't remember what the fabric line was for this. I think it was a couple of different fabric lines because I wanted a huge variety. I wanted it very scrappy. So there's that one. Then this quilt, this is like a memory quilt of my quilting journey. So this is also one that was quilted back August, July, August, September. And then it sat waiting for the binding to be put on. The binding was made. It just, like I said, I don't like binding. So this one is a Great Granny Square. The pattern I used was one of Lori Holt's books. I'm not sure what the name of it was. It was one of her very first books she put out, and it's really thin. I don't have the book. My daughter has the book. It's her book. I just used the pattern out of it. I borrowed her book. But what I did is each one of these squares in here represents a quilt I've made. So I took scraps, I made a block. So this quilt took many years to make because, as I completed a quilt top, then I would take and cut out fabric to make a block for this one. And I finally had enough blocks to finish it. So, don't know how well you can see this. So this quilt is actually means a lot to me because, it represents all the quilts I made. Not all the quilts I've made, but all the quilts I made in the time it took me to put this together. I think there's 24 blocks. And then what I did, let me show you the backing. not stopping this again. You're going to have to listen to my dog bark. So then what I did on the back is I did a scrappy back. And what I did is, so that each of these backings is the backing on one of the quilts that I made from the front. So, for instance, this one right here, the quilt I made was this block, was out of this fabric. And then I backed it with that backing. Let's see, this backing right here, this backing that was used from on the back of this quilt that I used this fabric for. So anyway, and then what I did is I just took the leftover fabric after it came back from the quilters. There's always fabric around it, and I cut it off and I made my binding. So my binding is also scrappy, using the fabric from quilts that I've made. So this quilt, and this is quite a big quilt, and but anyway, it's like a memory quilt of my quilting journey. Okay, I have 3 more things I'm going to show you. I feel like I've been doing this for hours. I think I have been doing this for hours, and I just keep getting interrupted. Okay, so this is a table runner that I made. The right side up, yeah. A table runner I made a few years ago. The place that does my long arm quilting, they offered this class, and it was fun because this class was actually on my birthday when I took the class, and I had taken the whole weekend off work, and I thought, because I never got to go to their classes because I worked, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to this class. So I took the whole weekend off of work, and I went to this class. It was a Saturday, and it was an all-day class, and they gave us everything. They gave us the pattern, the fabric, everything to make the stocking, or to make the table runner. And then this is the back for it. So yeah, I love it. This was a fun class to take. All right, and then I made this quilt last year in December, and did I show this in my last video? I don't know, maybe I did, I don't know, you're gonna see it again. This is a quilt I made last December. I just got the quilt top quilted this past summer, and just got the binding on it, because of course it has to sit for a while before I can put binding on it. And this is using Lori Holt's Crazy Papers. You can buy it at Fat Quarter Shop. And the fabric is by Kimber Bell. It's called We Wish You a Merry Christmas. So, and the backing is flannel, and then I just did a scrappy binding on it using red and green fabric. So there's that one. And the last one, I love this quilt. So I belong to the Sew Sampler Club through Fat Quarter Shop, and so once a month we get a box in the mail that has like a sewing project, usually to make a quilt. It has some pieces to make a quilt, some fabric. You have to order the finishing kit, which comes with maybe background fabric or whatever. And anyway, a couple of times a year, I think like 3 or 4 times a year, they do a special box. So you have to belong to the club to get the Sew Sampler box. And it comes with the project, and it comes with some notions and stuff, kind of new stuff that they've got in their shop. So I am out of breath. Quilts are heavy to hold up. Um, so 3 or 4 times a year they come out with a special box. You don't have to belong to the club to get these special boxes, but you do have to get onto the website as soon as they post them because within a couple hours they're sold out. Well, this one is the Jolly, I think it's called Jolly Soul Sampler box or something like that. And the project in it was this quilt. This is so cute. Isn't that adorable? Look at that deer. So it came with the panel. This is a panel, and then it came with a charm pack. And so what I did is, the instructions tell you how to cut down the panel. When you cut down the panel, you have these strips of fabric that are just waste. So what I did is I took those strips of fabric, and so I sewed the charm pack to the panel like those directions said, and that was supposed to be the extent of the quilt. You put the 5-inch squares around the panel. Well, I wanted my quilt a little bit bigger, so I took the scraps from the panel and I did a little border inside, or I did the inside border. So then there was some of the charm packs that were left over. So what I did is I did another border. So I did have to go to the store and purchase this fabric, and which I think is in, I don't know, it's by the same designer. So I purchased this fabric, and then I just took the remaining charm pack and made an outside border to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to tell you, if I had a granddaughter that was going to be born in December, this would be her baby quilt. Isn't that cute? And then for the back, I bought this fabric, so it matches really well with it. And then I just got some striped fabric for the binding. And I just love this. It's so cute. And I quilted this on my home machine. I just did a crosshatch quilting on it. You can see it. So anyway, there you go. Okay, so just quickly, I will be back the end of December, maybe first week in January for a whip parade. I like to do them because it kind of gives me a chance to go through all the whips that I have and kind of revisit them, and so I can kind of make a plan for 2021. Not that I stick to my plans, but I have good intentions. And then, so I'll be back, like I said, the first week in January for a whip parade. I don't know that I'm going to do I think I might do a whip parade. I don't know if I'll do a regular update until later in January, maybe towards the end. I don't know. If anything goes like the first part of December, I don't know. Just quickly. So we have just kind of a life update. So we have had some in our house when my water would shut off, like when the dishwasher would run, and then, and it would drain, and the water would shut off and it would drain, my pipes under my house would like bounce. I said it was bouncing. And I told my husband one day, I says, it's getting worse. You need to call a plumber, because to shut off the water in our house is in the crawl space below the house, which it's quite a big crawl space. I could probably stand up and bend over, and walk in it. It's huge. But a couple of reasons I will not go down there. One, it's just creepy. And two, spiders. Uh-uh. So I told my husband, I said, you need to call a plumber because if a pipe breaks, I says, I'm not going under the house to shut the water off while it is spraying at me and there's spiders down there. And I said, so the house is just going to flood. And he's like, well, that's kind of dumb. I'm like, well, then maybe better call a plumber. So anyway, he called the plumber and they came out and looked at it. And in our new section that we added on 4 years ago, we have updated pipes. The plastic pipes, they're updated. But in the old section, it's copper and galvanized pipes. And with that, what they call it is pipe hammering, is the sound I was hearing. And they said eventually, because it was getting worse, and he says it could break a pipe. Um, so what we decided to do is replace all the plumbing in the old part of our house. That is not cheap. That is expensive. Anyway, but so they spent all of last week under my house, in my house, in and out. And because they were doing that, we decided why they were here to do that. We decided we wanted to put a water softener in. So they had to do all the plumbing for that. And then we also decided to have our small guest bathroom. We decided to remodel it. It was having, when my husband bought the house, it was a repo and it had been flipped. So somebody had bought it, flipped it, and sold it. And when people do that, they do the cheapest they can to get, just because they want to make money off of it. So they don't want to put a lot of money into it. Well, they went with cheap parts, cheap plumbing, everything in the shower. And so the drain, you couldn't plug it up. So you couldn't take a bath in the bathtub because the drain didn't work. And then the shower or the faucet that come out of the wall was really wobbly. I don't know. And it was either hot or cold. My poor grandkids would go in to take a shower and they'd be screaming, Nana, it's too cold. So I'd go in there and adjust it. Nana, it's too hot. We could never get it in between. It was either cold or it was hot. You didn't have an in between. So we decided, since they're doing all of this other work, we're going to go ahead and remodel that bathroom. So we had them redo all the plumbing in that bathroom also. So yeah, last week I had a mess in my house. The week before, I think I had grandkids quite often because my daughter was taking on some extra shifts at work. And yeah, so that is why it's never a dull moment at my house. I mean, I think I live a very boring life, but then I think, wow, this is how my week was. It was not boring at all. So anyway, that's all I have. I will be back in 2 or 3 weeks with a whip parade and kind of tentatively giving you my plans for 2021. Um, I hope that whatever you celebrate, whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, all of the above, none of the above, whatever you celebrate, whatever you believe, that you have a good holiday season. And um, yeah, I'm done with shopping, and I can just really relax for the rest of the holiday season, which is my goal. I try really hard to have my shopping done so that I can spend December just enjoying the holiday season. So everyone, have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and I will see you right after the first of the year. Bye.